Taylor, and this is another episode of Bull or Brill, a podcast by Cyber Guys. I'm joined again by Brandon. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, Taylor. Great to be here.
Yeah, welcome back. Anything exciting happening this week?
Yeah, I'm off to Melbourne this week to deliver some user awareness training for our end of financial year special.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Is there anything else you want to say about that?
Yeah, so user awareness training is by far the best way to deal with the human error aspect of cybersecurity. So for those of you watching, interested in a bit of training, we're offering 30% off this month.
Cool. Shall we get into today's episode?
Sounds great.
Great. So first myth we have, basic antivirus is enough to protect you from all online threats.
That one's for the tank, I think. So a basic antivirus is a really good start, but it's certainly not enough. So an antivirus does provide you with a fundamental level of protection against viruses, malware, and just general rubbish you might find on the internet. But it's not sufficient for all users and situations. So a standard antivirus program typically includes things like real-time scanning, so periodically searching your computer for viruses, and it will remove them sometimes. They also sometimes include a firewall, but in this day and age, cyber threats are constantly evolving and attackers are becoming more and more sophisticated. So while a basic antivirus may be able to help you with detected threats that are already, it doesn't protect against all threats like ransomware, spyware, software vulnerabilities, zero-day attacks, or even just viruses that haven't been detected yet. So antivirus should be a very important part of your security strategy, but it's just one part of it. So keeping your operating system and applications up to date, making sure your passwords are very strong. So we talked about passwords last week. If you've missed that episode, go back and watch it. I highly recommend it. Be cautious about the links you click on in your emails and online, and make sure you're not doing anything dodgy online. So apart from emails, one of the biggest ways you can get a virus on a computer is downloading illegal software, illegal movies.
I put so many viruses on my parents' computer with LimeWire back in the day.
Oh, me too. Those were the days.
Where we all started.
Yeah, so that one's for the tank, I think.
Right, bit of bull straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Macs can't get viruses.
This old chestnut. I hear this so often, even nowadays.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Macs are not immune from viruses. Just like every other device around, Macs also have vulnerabilities that get patching. That's why you have Mac software updates as well. So while Mac OS does have quite a lot of security features in it, they're not enough to protect you from all online threats. You need an antivirus for your Mac. So there's an antivirus company called Avast that said in 2022 that there had been a 400% increase in malware year on year since 2019. So beyond getting your Mac an antivirus, which you should be doing, as I just said before, practicing good security habits such as keeping your systems updated and being cautious with downloads and emails is crucial for protecting any computer, mobile phone, tablet, whatever it may be, and that includes the Mac ecosystem. So that one's a big no-no.
Fair enough. Another one for the bull?
Yeah.
Alright, number 3, we have software updates are just a nuisance and don't do anything.
That one is massive amounts of bull.
Okay.
That is a really big myth that we need to kill right away. So shred that one right now.
Okay.
Software updates play a crucial role in ensuring the security and efficacy of all of your devices.
Okay.
Ignoring software updates can leave your device vulnerable to so many threats, including malware, which is what we just talked about. So often these updates include security patches for closing vulnerabilities that have been detected, protecting your device from hackers, essentially. It protects your data. So by closing those security vulnerabilities, updates protect your personal information from being stolen, intercepted, or compromised. Sometimes they improve the performance of your device.
Sometimes they make it worse though.
Sometimes they make it worse, and that's when you should be talking to your IT department. But software that is often released in early stages, it'll come out buggy. So software updates do sometimes improve the performance of your device, but even if they make your device slow, tough it.
Oh, okay.
Suck it up.
Okay.
Software updates introduce new features and remove some outdated ones as well. They fix bugs and glitches, and they ensure that your software remains compatible with other technology and services. So we've already shredded that one.
I don't know what to do. I guess we just go on to the next one.
Wish we could shred it again.
Okay. All right. If I suffer a ransomware attack, I should pay the ransom.
Now, companies that suffer ransomware attacks are often tempted to pay the ransom. So can you imagine coming in one morning and seeing all of your data just gone?
No, thank you.
It's just encrypted.
Yeah.
For most small business owners, that would be a panic attack mode, wondering what you're going to do next. Don't pay the ransom.
Okay.
I never recommend you pay the ransom, no matter how tempting it may be. So by paying the ransom, what you are doing is you are encouraging more attacks on other small businesses. So that by paying that ransom, you're encouraging criminals to continue their criminal enterprise, as it really shows that their tactics are effective. There is no guarantee of recovery. So ransomware promises that if you pay the ransom, you'll get your data back, but often there is no way to recover your data without decrypting the key first. And there's no mechanism to tell if anyone has paid for their ransomware attack. So paying it won't guarantee the recovery of your data. The attackers may not provide the decryption key. In some cases, paying a ransom could be illegal because it could fund further criminal activities. So ransomware is a favourite pastime of rogue nation states like, not mentioning any names, but North Korea, Russia, China, Iran.
Okay.
Those sort of countries. Most Australian law enforcement agencies advise against paying the ransom as well. They suggest that by giving in to the demands, it doesn't guarantee your data coming back, and it could lead to further victimisation.
So it's gone. Everything's gone.
Everything's gone. That's right.
So what can you do?
So the best thing to do is to ensure that you have alternative measures for data recovery in place. So no system is perfect. So just like how you would protect against a hard drive failure, for instance, it's better to focus on preventative measures. So we're talking things like maintaining secure backups. So with my small business customers, I recommend what's called the 3-2-1 backup methodology, which is 3 copies of your data on 2 separate mediums, with one being completely off-site. Ensuring that you have robust security software, having an incident response in place. So a lot of small businesses don't have these sort of plans in place. So when they come in one morning and there's a complete disaster taking place, they don't know what to do. So making sure that you and your IT team have a plan in place in the event of complete catastrophe.
Not that you should, but if you hypothetically were storing like sensitive information like credit card numbers, license numbers, etc., what do you do?
You shouldn't be storing that stuff
obviously,
in plain text.
But
So it really depends on the type of attack.
Yeah.
So if someone has breached your system
Yep.
to get in and install ransomware on your server or a device or whatever it may be, that's very serious. And it's something that you would need to report to the government.
Okay.
if ransomware has been installed by opening a dodgy link on your email, you still need to have an incident response in place. So you need to make sure that your backups are working and that you test the backups.
Okay.
The last thing you want to do is think that you have your backups in place and for them to not restore properly. So you've got to test them as well. So that's something that people should talk to their IT department about or give me a call. But finally, if an attack does occur in your organisation, don't panic. What you need to do is consult with a cybersecurity professional to figure out the next course of action.
Sure.
So that one's for the tank.
There we go. And lastly, we have, there's no magic bullet to make viruses and malware go away.
So this one's safe from execution.
Oh, okay.
So there is no magic bullet to make viruses and malware go away. Where there is good in the world, there will always be some sort of evil as well. Your cybersecurity is a multi-layered approach. There is no silver bullet to make all threats go away. So protecting your data requires an ongoing multi-layered approach, combining several of the best practices that the cybersecurity industry has to offer today. So we've mentioned some of them already, but let's go through some of the key strategies. So the first one is making sure that your operating system and all the software on there is constantly updated to patch vulnerabilities. If you are using software that is out of date, but is still required for business, you should talk to your IT department or a cybersecurity professional about the best way to either transition off or to continue using that in a far more secure way. Ensure that you are using a reputable antivirus and making sure that it's kept up to date. Strong passwords, again, go and check last week's video, but make sure you have a complicated, unique password or passphrase, ideally, and use a password manager. Ensure that multi-factor authentication is turned on, as this adds an extra layer of security in case your what will be very complicated password is ever breached. Finally, be very vigilant about phishing attacks. So don't click on links or download attachments from unknown sources. And the best way to ensure that your staff can resist a phishing attempt is to train them and to simulate a phishing attempt so that we can identify who needs more support versus the majority of your office that I'm sure is safe as anything. And just a few more things, avoid public Wi-Fi.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. So often cyber criminals in a crowded area will spoof a legitimate network to intercept your network traffic.
What about ones that kind of seem reputable, like EduRoam or like the hospital Wi-Fi?
So those generally have a bit more security behind them, but those networks can also be spoofed as well. So if you do need to use public Wi-Fi, use a VPN. It's not a foolproof solution by any measure, but it's better than nothing. Never do sensitive things like internet banking on public Wi-Fi. Really, the best way for you to use internet on the go is to use your mobile data where possible. And conduct regular security checks and audits. And we've already mentioned it again, but train your staff to identify and block security breach attempts within your organisation. But just finally, remember that cybersecurity is an ongoing process. You need to stay vigilant to protect your data. So combining these practices that I've just mentioned will enhance your defence against cyber threats. So this one's safe.
Safe. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for joining me again, and I hope you have a good time in Melbourne. Stay warm.
I'll try.
Thank you for joining us again for Bull or Brill, a podcast by Cyber Guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.